Today I want to tell you the story of a parasite. It's a worm whose eggs are hidden inside the food we eat and which can hatch inside us, migrate out of our intestines, and burrow into our muscles. A worm you can get from eating pork from an organic farm, but also from eating roadkill bears. But to tell you the story properly, I need to do two things. I need to buy a hot dog, and I need to go find the place where RFK Jr. dumped that dead bear cub in Central Park. Let's go. So real quick, my name is Christina Bergey. I'm a professor and I teach about various diseases, some of which I've gotten in my own travels around the world. The parasites I'm talking about today are roundworms in the Trichinella genus. They cause a disease called Trichinellosis. It's far from the worst disease I've talked about on this channel, but it is kind of gross. Trichinellosis is a zoonosis, meaning it's a disease that can make the jump from animals to people. To tell you about how it can do so, I need a prop. I would. Could I get a hot dog, please?
Hot sausage?
Hot dog. Hot dog. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Picture?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
That's for you. You know.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Just $3. Guys.
Yeah, you don't have to carry this home, I guess.
Home. Yeah,
thank you, sir. I think this is the longest I've ever gone between buying a hot dog and eating a hot dog. Like, usually I 10 steps away from the cart. It's gone. So the most common path to infection worldwide is by eating pigs or pork. There are a lot of yellow jackets around me. Should be fun. Pigs can be infected with the worms, and if you eat such a pig, the eggs can hatch, grow into adult worms, and then lodge themselves in your muscle cells. Many infected people have no symptoms, but trichinosis can cause things like inflamed heart muscles, and in rare cases, even death. Trichinosis rates have gone down in many parts of the world, but they've increased in other places. This is somewhat surprising because the parasite is so easy to control. All you have to do is cook your meat hot enough, and there's some common sense sanitary things you can do on pig farms to reduce the rate of pig infection. You might think it's strange for me to be talking about foodborne worms right after eating a hot dog, but there's 3 reasons why I'm not worried. First off, I'm in the United States where we have an extremely low rate of Trichinella infection. Something like 0.125% of pigs are infected. That's relatively high by the standards of better countries like Germany or Denmark, but way lower than a lot of parts of the world. I've had my fair share of intestinal parasites just because of the places I work to do research. And as I've said, you can kill this parasite very easily by cooking your pork to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Some people, like Guy Fieri, have suggested we relax and start eating our pork medium rare. I don't know about that. With 1 out of every 800 pigs infected in this country, it seems like it's a bit high for me, but it depends a lot on your risk tolerance. Also, the hot dog I ate comes from what's supposed to be the best hot dog cart in the city, so I'm sure he's following food prep best practices. I feel bad even mentioning his name in a video about parasites, but if you're the kind of person that eats hot dogs, it really is worth a trip up here, especially if you're visiting the Natural History Museum. Also, there's the final reason that I'm not worried, which is that I realized on the way up here, all hot dogs in the city are made of beef and not pork. Cows don't eat meat, so they can't have trichinella. Anyway, it was a dumb mistake. Amateur hour on this channel. All right, let's get away from these wasps. Okay, so that was the basics of Trichinella infection from farmed pigs, but the farm isn't the only place you can get Trichinellosis. I want to tell you the other half of this tale from the place where Robert F. Kennedy Jr. dumped that dead bear carcass. So now I'm gonna go find it. In case you don't know the crazy story, presidential candidate RFK Jr. hit a bear cub with his car in upstate New York in 2014 and dumped it in Central Park for shits and giggles, I guess. A guy walking his dog found it, but it remained a mystery how the hell a bear cub got there until RFK revealed that it was him, the nephew of the US President JFK. Crazy story. Okay, so here's the 7th Regiment monument. Look at ticks. Could be right here. I think this might be the place. This could be it. There's like this big London plane tree, which I just don't see. Oh, there's a plane tree right there. Yeah. So see that branch like that goes whoop? I think it's right there.
Looks like it.
Yeah. That's the lantern, I think. That's over his shoulder.
I can see it from there. Is there a lantern on his shoulder? Yeah, it'd be that one.
All these guys were standing right here. And there's the tree. That's for sure it. Alright, R.I.P. I wanted to come here because black bears carry trichinella worms, and there were plenty of jokes about this bear incident being how RFK Jr. got the brain worms he mentioned earlier in his campaign. Brain worms are a different kind of worm, just for the record, but he could have definitely gotten trichinella worms from eating bear. Various wild animals carry the worms that cause trichinellosis, including black bear, foxes, badgers, wolves, raccoon dogs, lynxes, wild boar, and walruses. People have gotten infected with trichinella by eating wild game. For instance, there have been outbreaks in Alaskan native people who hunt and eat walrus. More common, though, is trichinellosis from eating bear meat. This video was inspired by a few recent outbreaks of trichinellosis from people who ate bear. In one of the cases, people got the worms from bear meat even though it had been frozen for 45 days. Even people who didn't eat the bear kebabs but ate vegetables grilled alongside the bear meat got sick. So yeah, the takeaway message from this quick video is to be super careful when eating wild game, but also be careful when eating fancy pork from organic farms. If you enjoyed this video, I'm making a longer one now about how diseases jump from animals to people. Subscribe so you don't miss it.